Lost 2 in a row. They come in 5-3, Post 7-0. Kerry, you can pretty much throw the records away when these two teams get together.
Absolutely, Barry. Throw the records out the window. Throw the rankings out the window. This is Long Island Lacrosse. This is hot. This is Post College, and this is Adelphi. They're playing for everything right here today.
Well, these two teams evenly matched, aren't they, Kerry?
Absolutely. We have both these two teams coming in with strong defenses. 2 All-Americans return for both these two teams. All-American goalkeeper. It's going to be a very close game. It's going to be a tough game to score on.
Well, Post comes off a dramatic victory last Saturday over at Nazareth, one of the Division III powers. They clobbered Southampton in their last game. They're a club that has a lot of offense, and they've got an outstanding midfielder by the name of Luis Gonzalez.
Luis Gonzalez is doing everything right now for CW Post. He's a runner. He's a thoroughbred, according to Tom Postel. He really has to be the key man. No mistakes. He's got to do the job on face-offs. He's got a hard shot. He's going to be a key player for the Post Pioneers.
Well, Post certainly has revenge on their mind. They were blown out in the championship game last year by Adelphi 18-6 after beating them during the regular season, coming from behind to win 9-8. For the Panthers, they had to replace 200 points, Kerry. They lost Anthony Picone, who was suspended this year from school, a great player by the name of Mangan, who was an All-American, and also Charlie Flaherty in the midfield. They've struggled a little bit offensively and defensively.
Well, you know, Barry, it's tough to replace 200 points. I don't care who you are. Those are 3 great players. And Sandy Capatos, the coach, has done a great job in putting together a team that's been riddled with injuries, has come across playing very well, coming back very strong against Salisbury, though they were down 7-1.
A guy who will be a key to this game, James Maselli, playing on attack, trying to place the great Mangan as the playmaker.
Well, James Maselli's got the burden on his shoulders, Barry. He's got to run the offense. He's in a position that he did not play last year. Last year, he was the finisher. This year, he's the quarterback. And as James Maselli goes today, so will go Adelphi.
Both teams terrific goalies. It should be a dandy. Get set for exciting college lacrosse. Coming up next, Carl Reuter returns with the coaches. You're watching Cablevision's LISN on Metro Sports.
Tom Postel of CW Post on my left. And Tom, top ranked. Obvious question, can you beat them?
Don't know. We don't know. Adelphi, very strong team. Forget the 2 losses. Today's a day that anything can happen. We haven't beaten Adelphi in 15 years here. Okay. They're the nemesis of our program. They've dominated us over the years. We haven't played. The reason we're top ranked is we haven't played Adelphi, Tech, or Pace. And they all have played, not all of them, but each of them have played one of the other. And somebody's won, somebody's lost. So Post is up at the top because we haven't played any of the top 3.
You're very open about that, and you've told that to the kids as well.
Well, no doubt about it, okay? And Coach Capitos knows it also. His team is a capable team. Our team's a capable team. Whatever team plays hardest, I think, wins the game.
All right, hard play will win, but is there any one intangible that you must do?
Well, score. We have to score as they have to score. But I think we have to compete a lot more than we competed the last time these 2 teams played. And if that happens, well, then whoever wins, I'll be happy because I know my team competed. Believe me, if my team competes, okay, we lose this game, I won't cry for the rest of my life. That's what it's all about. And I'm sure that's the way it is with the Coach Capitos, too. Let the kids compete. Let them play the game. Let them decide who's the best team.
All right, Coach, best of luck.
Thanks.
All right, that's Tom Postel of CW Post. A little handshake there. And Sandy, pressure all the time, no matter what the game is, regular season, in the playoffs. But is there extra pressure on you guys today? Because a loss could be very, very damaging. And you know what the NCAA championship game is all about. A loss might hinder those chances.
Well, a loss will not really be damaging. A loss will end our season as far as the national championship consideration is concerned. So our backs are to the wall. It's somewhat of an unfamiliar situation for us. In the last 4 years, having gotten to the finals, we had usually won the first meeting either between Tech and Post and Adelphi, which had put us maybe into a situation where we had some room for error. We're in a situation now where it's must win. The kids understand that, and I hope they're up for the challenge today.
All right, Coach has never won here. Coach Tom Postel, 15 times on this field. He's never come away with a victory. Does that sit with your kids in the locker room? Do you talk about that at all, or you just forget about that and the bottom line is here, win this game, and forget about what they've done here in the past?
No, it's something that we haven't discussed with the kids because I honestly feel it's irrelevant. The 2 programs that have been successful down through the years, I know that Tommy has had some heartbreaking losses here in overtime. It's just kind of the way things worked out. They're 2 very evenly matched teams. They're very talented. As Tommy mentioned, we both need to play with a lot of energy today. and we see how it pans out.
All right, Sandy, best of luck in this one.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Sandy Capitos, the coach of Adelphi. They're ranked 4th in the nation, going up against Tom Postel's Pioneers of CW Post, ranked number 1 in the nation. We're back with the starting lineups, the opening face-off right after this timeout. Stay with us.
The problem to start the game, a power failure here. We missed the first minute of play, and in that very first minute, Adelphi struck early as James Maselli, 42 seconds in, scored on a feed from Rich Vislaki, and it's 1-0. The Adelphi Panthers with the ball and possession, Carey, and that goal came right after David Kelly came right down off the faceoff, nearly scored. A great save on the other end by Kalesa. Good luck here, but the pass could not be handled as they try to set it up down low that time, and play comes back the other way.
And that was Maselli, who was behind the cage, Barry, doing what we expected him to do a lot, and that is to try and set up the offense as the quarterback.
And the shot by Todd Bolognese checked as he got it off. So good pace to start this game, Carey. Both teams looking to run upfield and score in transition.
Well, we saw both teams take advantage of a fast break situation off the face-off, and then after the save, Adelphi looking to come back again on the fast break and not getting the post defense into the 6-on-6 game.
We'll set the lineups for you. This is Catone, swings it on the left wing to the dangerous Gonzalez, who may be the best midfielder in Division II. Pass could not be handled by Todd Bolognese. Battles for it, number 3 in green, along with the long stick over there of Dan DeBetta. And as it goes to the far sideline, they rake away. And finally out of bounds it goes. Our referee is Tim Murray, the umpire Bill Cole, the field judge Bob Villanova, and it'll be post ball here.
Well, this will be an important possession right now for Post. They're playing the 6-on-6, and we'll see Adelphi is sitting now into their zone defense. They showed that just a moment ago, and looking to probably exert a little bit of pressure. Coach Capitos looking to try and upbeat a little bit and exert a little pressure on the ball as they sit back in their zone with number 24, as you look at the defense being the zone man, the backer.
All right, this is Gonzalez trying to get away from Hendricks. Low, hard shot. Kalesa, who played very well in the second half against Salisbury State last week, comes up with his second big save. As they try to clear, the pass could not be handled. And here's Kelly, number 7, the All-American for CW Post. Checked, lost the ball. And the battle on the ground could be critical here in this game, Kerry. Who wins those loose balls, gets the extra possessions, as now it'll be post ball here.
Absolutely, Barry. Ground balls are going to be critical in this game. With scoring going to be, I think, at a premium. Possession of the ball, the fewest mistakes is going to be very, very important. And we saw right here in that last push created by Adelphi, giving the ball over to Post. And those are the mistakes you don't want to have to make in giving CW Post the ball.
Gonzalez swung it out. This is Ernie Thompson, big and strong, number 42, working on the second midfield. Gonzalez inverting, coming from behind, lays it out beautifully in front for Charlie Jaworowski. Jaworowski, off the beautiful feed from Gonzalez, has tied the score at 1 apiece.
Well, you know, Luis Gonzalez, that's who we highlighted right at the very beginning of the game, Barry. Inverting, taking the stick behind the cage, drives the cage, brings the zone with him, and off on the weak side, number 17, Charlie Jaworowski, had a nice opportunity standing right on the crease unmolested. Again, here you'll see, here's Gonzalez. He draws the defense to him, and of course that's going to leave the weak side open. Jaworowski standing right on the crease.
So Maselli and Jaworowski exchange goals, and Post coming up with the face-off, but we get a push, and it will be Post getting possession as being pushed. Rob Paraquan came up with the face-off, got pushed to the ground, and we have a flag throw, and we'll get a penalty coming up here.
And the first extra man opportunity right now for CW Post. They're not doing badly on their extra man. They're shooting about 32%. Barry, so this will be a nice opportunity for them to take a little bit of the momentum away from the Panthers and see if they can get the lead for the first time in the game.
30-second penalty, and it comes at an opportune time for Post trying to take the lead. Their man up, according to Postel, not as good as he'd like it. They've only scored 10 man-up goals this year. Swing it out to Bolognese. This is Chamberlain, Gonzalez, Santa Maria. Time to about 15 seconds on the extra man. Ball checked, recovered, however, by Santa Maria, coming around and shot it wide. Teams are all even now as Babb has returned for Adelphi. So the teams are all even at 6-6. Pass thrown away, and Big Tower will scoop it up. The 6'4" youngster out of Hicksville. Brian Tower, number 10, mostly a crease man, will take behind against the dangerous defender Kelly.
Barry, on that last opportunity down for CW Post, when you had the ball behind the cage, those are the mistakes that they don't want to have to make. Can't force the ball and then force that pass, which is what exactly Post tried to do right there. Be a little bit more patient, I think, CW Post, to create and draw that zone.
Saccone got in, but a good save by Vinnie Fredericks, the All-American, who will split the game with R.J. Degenfelder. An unusual situation for CW Post as they split every game this year with two outstanding keepers. Ball loose, and coming out will be Kalesa, way out of his cage. He, at times, decision-making is questionable, and that ball battled for on the far side down this beautiful grass field. It will be a Adelphi ball. And today's game is being brought to you by Adelphi University. Stay close, go far. By Canon USA. And by Cablevision. Barry Landers along with Kerry Gluck, Carl Reuter, 9:09 to go in the first quarter. Adelphi with the ball, tied 1-1 with CW Post. And Adelphi with their backs to the wall, having lost already to Tech, they can ill afford another loss and expect to make their 5th straight appearance in the Division II championship. Swing it behind. This is Bislocki, 22, one of the captains, kid out of Lynbrook, who has done it all for this program. Now they try to settle it. Misselli, pass intended for Christian Neuer, broken up, and it rolls out of bounds on the deflection. It will be CW Post. No, it'll be a Adelphi ball.
That was a tough pass. Misselli just tried to get the ball into the stick of Christian Neuer. A tough pass for Neuer to handle with the defender right on him with that big stick.
Misselli against Fagan, Timmy Fagan, the long stick defender. Fagan out of Longwood High School. Misselli, good look, and a hard shot by Tower. Stopped by Fredericks as he tried to go low on him that time. Back up top to Anthony Saccone out of Port Washington High School. Their leading goal scorer in midfield, number 15 with 18 goals. He's really come on this year. Saccone, cross cage feed. Babb getting in, and he scores! Also a penalty on the play. What a goal by Chris Babb, the senior out of Longwood High School. He's a face-off man. The transfer from St. Andrews gets his 13th goal of the year, and Adelphi regains the lead.
Well, that was a great effort, I thought, by Chris Babb, and he draws the penalty, the trip on the shot. Watch the effort. There's the cross cage feed. Saccone finds Babb, and here he goes to the cage. There's the trip. What an effort right here. The one shot, and of course, I think, Fredericks being screened on the play by the two defensemen.
And David Kelly will draw the penalty, so it will also be a man-up situation.
And, of course, that will take Kelly out of the game for a minute. Of course, he's a very big defenseman for Post. He's got great talent. He's probably as good as any defender at Post, according to Tom Postel.
All right, Paraquan, number 25, on the face-off here, battling with Babb. And Paraquan comes up with it.
Big face-off for Post.
Rob Paraquan holding onto the ball. They've got a minute to kill here. Gonzalez couldn't handle the pass. Adelphi very aggressive here on these ground balls. This is a must-win situation for them, but Gonzalez picks it up. He's got the great legs. He's got Jaworowski with him, and Gonzalez fires it wide. Jaworowski hustles to back up. It'll still be post ball, and let's go to Carl Reuter.
You know, Barry and Carey, when you watch these two teams out here, boy, is this homegrown talent. Yeah, it's a local college rivalry, but do you know 24 out of the 28 players on the Adelphi roster and 32 of the 35 players on the Post roster, homegrown talent right here from Long Island. So this is like a Long Island all-star game when you have 56 of the 63 players on this field right now, right here from Long Island. Great lacrosse, the hotbed, as everybody says. Back
Indeed,
upstairs.
Carl, thanks very much. And Adelphi, man down situation, man up now, trying to come down the field with Kelly still in the box. Under 10 seconds to go. Cross feed intended for Misselli, rolls out of bounds, and it will be post balls. We'll take a look at these two goalies, Vinnie Fredericks and Greg Kalesa, two All-Americans coming off last year, Kerry.
Well, there you see Fredericks on the left from Post, having a very good year, 65% save, only giving up about 7.5 goals. Kalesa, a big goalie on the right as you look at the screen with 60% save, and giving up 9 goals so far this year.
Both have good size, about 600, 6 feet, about 195, 200 pounders, and we get a timeout taken here And Kerry, as we look at the early going here, any edge that you see either way? For we've had one man up situation for each team.
Well, right now I like the aggressive play of Adelphi. They really look like they're swarming the ball. I think they know in their minds they really have got to come up big in this game, and guys have got to step it up a notch against CW Post. But I like their aggressive play.
Well, last year in the championship game played at Rutgers, Adelphi jumped off to a 6-0 lead, just stormed all over Post to win it 18-6. But during the regular season, Post won 9-8. They trailed 8-6 late in the game, and Sandy Capitos's team ended up losing that game 9-8. And they've had a history of great regular season games. 2 years ago on this field, Adelphi won in overtime 13-12 to give them a shot at the championship once again. And of course in 97 they lost to New York Tech. 96 Post was the Division II champs, and Adelphi's won it in 95 and 98. Teams are all even as Gonzalez will bring it down. Gonzalez getting in, but the pass on the ground intended for Jaworowski and played by Dan DeBetta. And Adelphi with it. That's Mark Reeves, number 42, getting it off. And now they'll look for the transition here. Off to Vislaki on the wing. Rich Vislaki, number 22. Steady, not flashy, he's a fast kid. Anthony Saccone working in the midfield right now, along with Chris Amplo, number 4. Of course, Chris's twin brother Joe, one of the stalwarts on the Hofstra team. Chris, a transfer from Hofstra up top. This is Chris Amplo. Takes the left-hand shot. Got a piece of it that time. Fredericks on the bounce shot.
That was a nice little roll dodge that we saw by Chris Amplo. Came back with the left hand, took the left-handed shot. Nice bounce shot, but again, I think Fredericks is doing a very nice job in the cage for a Post, coming up with some good saves.
Amplo has 4 goals. Saccone will pick it up. Saccone, the most dangerous midfielder on this unit right now. Played by the long pole. That was Todd Postel, the coach's son. Tom Postel, number 20, playing Saccone with that long pole. Now they'll isolate here for Amplo. He's got the short stick going against. Tried to go cross cage, and Postel knocked it down. He had Todd Bolognese, number 3, defending, and he tried to go cross cage, and this is Bolognese bringing it down. Off now to Gonzalez. Gonzalez, who loves to sweep. Post trailing 2-1, 5 minutes to go, first quarter. Up top, Ernie Thompson, number 42.
Now again, Gonzalez, every time down for Post, has taken the ball behind the cage. He looks very comfortable behind the cage. Again, CW Post, with the many of the midfielders having been attackmen, are very comfortable behind the cage.
Good point, Kerry. Thompson, a low shot, tries to go short side, and Kalesa had the pipe played well.
Well, I don't like the way Thompson took that shot. I think he would have been a little bit better off showing the overhand shot to the near side, and rather than taking the stick head going down, giving the vision of the goalie. Kalesa had full vision of that ball, which, though it was a tough shot, was not as difficult as it may have been.
Third save for Kalesa. Now here's Amplo working in the midfield.
Now this time Amplo drew the big stick, so he gave the ball up. Last time he had the short stick, and he took him one-on-one.
How about the defensive strategy of Post here? Now they get in tight. Good save, Fredericks on Saccone. And we get a whistle, and a crease violation will be called. Saccone got in tight and stepped into the crease area.
Too tight for Adelphi getting into that crease area. And you don't want to make that kind of turnover. It's tough, but again, the aggressive play, that's what I like to see. As we see Saccone again on the replay coming into the crease on the move to the cage. He's a strong dodger, and that's going to be a call this year, as the officials are going to take that and that move into the crease and call it.
Again, the strategy to take the short stick. Gonzalez was defending him there, number 5 with that short stick. Now Post looking to tie it up here. Drew Cavades, number 24, good offensive midi, a freshman from Plainview JFK in the game right now. He's had a couple of goals, including one against Southampton on Wednesday. This is Benny Catone, good-looking sophomore from Elmont, who's got some playing time with Janko hurt. Scott Janko was one of their key players. Beautiful sit-up, and Jaworowski cutting down finishes. So Post has tied it 2-2 on a beautiful, nice goal set up there.
Well, that was a nice move by Jaworowski. He cut from up top, and he caught the defenseman looking as Jaworowski came down without the defenseman. And it's a nice little feed Here you see the ball behind. There's Jaworowski as he attacks the cage. Now what happened there, Barry, the defensemen got their heads turned to the ball. As soon as Jaworowski saw the heads turned, he made his move down toward the cage and was able to take advantage of that split second to get behind the defense.
Jaworowski's 16th goal, second of the game. We have a timeout taken, and let's go to Carl Reuter.
Barry, the conditions outside today are gorgeous. A little bit cool, sunshine, but we had a lot of rain here last night. You would never know by the way this playing surface is. Adelphi's style field is one of the most recognized fields in the Northeast as far as its beauty and playing conditions. In fact, how often this deep into a season, when you see a natural surface, do you actually see grass in and around the goal crease area? That was pointed out by our stat guy, Hal Sass. We were walking on the field before the game, but there's not any sign of any kind of wetness on this field. That's the great grounds crew work that they've got done here over at Stiles Field. Absolutely spectacular field conditions.
Thank you, Carl. Indeed, absolutely spectacular conditions, great setting, and this is a great setting for soccer, Kerry. We know Adelphi has an outstanding Division I soccer program, and during the course of time, St. John's played some of their playoff soccer games here. We had the Greek team, I think, here last year training here.
Before the last World Cup. That is correct. The Greek team did train here.
So we've got a tie game at 2-2. That last goal, Jaworowski, second of the game, 16th from Santa Maria, and the time of the goal, 11:45. They're playing that zone, Adelphi, and they might have gotten burned there, and right now battling for the face-off is Babb. But it is Kelly coming up with the ball with that long pole. He's one of the best around in Division II. Kelly tripped up, ball loose. Catone couldn't get it. And here's Kalesa out of the cage. Checked out of his stick. Ball is loose. Oh, and did they score? No, and the rebound knocked away. There was an empty net opportunity for Santa Maria. He couldn't finish that ball off the pipe, and they still scrambled for it. We got to get a replay of that crazy action right there.
What effort on the part of the defense. Every defenseman jumping in the cage when Kalesa lost his stick. I can't believe that post didn't find the net.
Bislaki was one of those guys who jumped in there. And of course, in his dreams tonight, if this is a one-goal game, Santa Maria is going to say, how did I not put that in? Wow, crowd buzzing after that little bit of a flurry. We're down to the final 2:15 to go.
Well, but you know what? I like Kalesa coming out of the goal. He really adds a lot to that defense, Barry.
Puchello, number 8. Checked out of his stick. Aggressive play by Dan DeBetta. But Puchello controls the ball, the junior from Levittown, who has 4 goals on the year. Thompson lost it. And it's recovered here by Cavadis. Drew Cavadis playing on the second midfield with Puchello. And now here's Santa Maria, who had 3 against Adelphi in that 9-8 win last year. Santa Maria, the sophomore from Oceanside. Good look, but it's checked. And recovered and scored in tight that time by Joe Puchello. He was lucky on the cage. Joe Puchello finding that loose ball. The junior from Levittown gives Post the lead with his 5th goal of the year.
Now you'll watch it when you have an opportunity to see it, if we can, right here on the replay. Santa Maria attacks the ball, attacks the cage from behind, and he draws 3 defensemen at him. When he draws that 3rd defenseman at him, he's going to leave that weak side open, and that's where you find Joe Puchello. He's sitting on the cage. Look at it. Again, here's that earlier flurry in front of the Adelphi goal. There's the open cage. Santa Maria. And coming out of nowhere was number 24 for
Dan DeBetta.
Dan DeBetta, the big stick on the midfield, coming across to make the save. He should be credited with that save.
And Post will go man up. Tim Murray signifying a 1-minute slashing penalty. As Adelphi losing it a little bit right now. Trailing 3-2, 125. Post really becoming aggressive in that last flurry. And even though they weren't able to finish carry on that initial sequence, they did come back and get the goal. They've taken a little bit of the momentum away from Adelphi.
Absolutely, and maybe we can get a chance while we have a lull here, just take a look at that last goal again, because here's Santa Maria. Now watch as you'll see. Here's the draws. He does a nice little roll dodge. 2 more defenders come to him. That's going to leave a man open on the crease area. And Puchello finding the loose ball. Ground balls. Tom Postel said that's going to be very critical in this game. That one caused a goal.
Again, they isolated the short stick of Rich Vislaki. Post on the man up here. 0 for 1. Looking to open up a 2-goal lead. Gonzalez swings it behind Santa Maria. Puchello up top. Bolognese shot. And a good stop by Kalesa. Quick outlet, man down. Beautiful pass up ahead to Vislaki, who's got great speed. Vislaki stumbling, lost it. Kelly rakes it ahead. Ball knocked away. Vislaki going after it. 20 seconds left on the man up for post. Bodies go down. We get a whistle on the far side.
We're going to get a push. It should be against post, right? It's going to be a Adelphi ball. Big push. That gives the ball over to Adelphi with still the man down.
About 15 seconds. Loose ball. They get it in quickly. Trying to take advantage here. And they score! Brian Tower from the feet of Brian Hendricks. And they caught post snapping defensively there, Carey, as they got the ball in quickly. Brian Hendricks, a very smart play to get it to Brian Tower.
Well, what they caught post doing, Barry, was on that push. They were making a change. They were making a personnel change. They were bringing some sticks on the field. And as soon as you're ready with the ball in the college ranks, they're going to put the ball in play. And with those sticks making the exchange, Adelphi able to take advantage of the situation. Towers, a big guy. He puts it up high. Here you'll see that little one-handed pass. Towers one-on-one with Fredericks, and he takes a nice shot, and he's going to finish that shot. One-on-one, I'd give the advantage to Tower.
That's a man-down goal, the second man-down goal that Adelphi has scored, so we're tied at 3. And we're down to the final 27 seconds. Teams are all even now. Tower with it.
That could be certainly a morale booster for Adelphi, taking that goal with the shorthand.
All right, down to the final 14 seconds of this first quarter. Misselli up top. Brad Ross, the kid from Australia, fires. It'll still be a Adelphi ball with 6 seconds to go. Ross may be the fastest player, and part of the Australian connection here. Coming around is Misselli, gets the shot off. It's blocked, and that'll do it for an excellent first quarter. We'll be back with more from Stiles Field. You're watching Division II Lacrosse on Cablevision's LISN. Here at Adelphi University, as we've watched a very spirited first quarter of play. And Bob, anytime these two teams get together, they started back in 1960 playing lacrosse. Here it's 1999. You're in for a barn burner.
Well, you know, I was born in 1960, so I don't remember. Yeah, you're right, Barry. It's always a pleasure to have the Long Island teams get together and play great lacrosse. So it's a great day, and I know it's going to be very, very competitive out there in the field, and it should be good for the fans.
Bob, a lot going on. You've got softball and baseball games taking place here on this beautiful campus today. And, of course, you're looking for 2 new coaches as far as basketball is concerned. So you've got a lot on your plate right now. Steve Clifford, after a great season, great 4 or 5 years, has left to go on to be an assistant coach at East Carolina. And you're looking, of course, for a women's basketball coach.
Barry, I'm exhausted. We're going to tie up the women's job very shortly, and then we'll start on the men's job. We got a lot of great candidates, and we're looking forward to it.
Well, we had a stick check, and we have a problem right here, Carey. Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. We do. Not we. CW Post has a problem right now, Barry. We don't have that problem. Apparently, Brian Grazade, who's on the field for the face-off, had an illegal stick. That's going to be a 3-minute unreleasable penalty against CW Post. The stick is out of the game. Grazade's got to stay in the box for 3 minutes, unreleasable.
Wow. Brian is a 5'11", 185-pound sophomore from Longwood High School, one of several Post players from Longwood.
And he's explaining right now to Tom Postel what's going on. What is with your stick? Postel's got to be really upset with this, because you don't want that situation, not only in this game, but on a face-off. We'll go right, the ball will go start right in the stick of Adelphi extra man.
Well, Post gave up a man down goal when they had the opportunity earlier. They were actually a man up, so their man up has not been good, and their man down's been pretty good, 84%. Adelphi, as they start the second quarter with the man up, 0 for 1 in the extra man situation. Bad pass picked off that time, and looking to outlet right here is Vinnie Fredericks. This will be a key possession here. See how long they can keep possession. Brzezinski, number 18. And they work it down low, and it's finally taken by Kalesa. They were looking down
That's
low.
not a great outlet pass that Kalesa made.
No, big mistake there. And now Post will try to eat up some time here. Paraquan, 25.
Now you got to look for Adelphi to double the ball. Here comes Tower to look to double. Well,
Nice split. Nice split by Paraquan. Puts it down low. Oh, and Catone with a great opportunity. Couldn't finish, Carey.
Boy, he'd like to have that one back, I'll bet. He was one-on-one inside with Kalesa. You don't get that opportunity.
Well, the sophomore who sat out last year was a key factor 2 years ago. And a good timeout here for Adelphi called by Sandy Capitos. His team really not taking advantage in the early part of this extra man. They seemed a little bit unsettled, Kerry.
Well, right off the bat, the first pass they made while they were extra was a bad pass. You got 3 minutes. You have no rush. Why throw the ball and put it under a pressure situation? You should be taking your time.
Let's go, Benny. Come on, Benny.
No, Benny's great in. Leave Benny in there. Benny's good at it. No, leave the attack in there. Let's get the first midfield in there, okay? But we only have 2 of them, okay? No, in fact, let's get Rob, Power Clam. Lewis, you okay? Yeah. Okay. Charlie, you come out. Gavin, you play attack. Okay? Now, it's 5-on-6. They're going to double team the initial. Right? Initially, you're going to double it. We got to beat that double, then we catch them in a pickle. All right? You can go outside the box if you follow and say, but try to keep it a Boston thing. All right? Let's go. Let's go, fellas.
All right, well, here you saw Tom Postel telling his post plays, which I'm sure they all know, and certainly it shouldn't be any secret. Right now, Adelphi is going to look to try and double the ball from the outset, and of course, if they can beat that double, that's what will give them the opportunity to get some breathing room, because they can find the open man, and then they'll be able to eat up more time on the clock.
The post defense really aided this year by the addition of Pat McCabe and John DiTomaso to work as coaches. And right now they have it on offense here. Looking to score the man down goal, Gonzalez. Up some time, about 45 seconds gone in the 3-minute penalty. The unreleasable penalty against Post.
Well, he's got the legs. He's the thoroughbred. He's their runner, and this is why he's got the ball in his stick.
DeBetta chasing him, knocked it loose. Danny DeBetta, the All-American, battling for it. He's been plagued by injuries this year. The ball goes out of bounds, and it'll go back over to the Panthers. So let's see how they handle the clear here, Kerry. We have a man up. See if they were able to get it down quickly. Minute 50 to go.
Well, Post did an excellent job eating up over a minute of that penalty.
Saccone. No trouble as he brings it down. They're a man up now. Game is tied at 3 apiece. Jaworowski has scored a couple of goals to lead Post. Adelphi with 3 different goal scorers. Tower, Babb. Here is Tower, that hard shot, and it goes off the post. Misselli out now to Chris Babb. Newer, number 19.
They're setting up Tower on that wing.
Trying to feed down low, broken up. They were looking that time for Melody. Babb with a hard shot, whistled it wide.
And they were lucky to get the ball back after that pass down low to Melody, with the ball rebounding right back up into the Adelphi stick. And I think that was up at the top. That's Newer.
So Misselli will play at number 5. Under a minute to go in the extra man, so 2 minutes have elapsed. Post has done an excellent job preventing Adelphi from taking the lead with the extra man. Here's Babb swinging it. Tower back to Newer, to Babb on the left wing. Again, hits the post. Over to Tower, over to Babb. He'll try again. Good save as he tried to go up high, and Vinnie Fredericks was there.
Well, that's what I didn't like about that shot. He went up too high, and I think he put that shot too high on the stick side.
Good timeout taken. Gavin Chamberlain was coming down the wing. Post decided to call a timeout, and let's check in with Carl Reuter.
Barry, to pick up the point you just made moments ago about John DiTomaso and Pat McCabe. Well, Pat McCabe was a heck of a player down here at Elmont High School, and of course the All-American from Syracuse. But in talking to Tom Postel before the game, I asked him what impact have they made. And he said, you know what, Carl, I can draw up the schemes and try to show the guys, but they have the technique. They physically will go out on the field and show them what I've drawn up. He said they have been invaluable. So I guess the rich get richer when you add the likes of a Pat McCabe and a John DiTomaso. Of course, DiTomaso, a 3-time All-American over at Hopkins, and of course McCabe over at Syracuse had some All-American days as well. So these are 2 guys that have really, really added to the CW Post Pioneers program.
Both teams have great coaching staffs, Kerry. You look at Post, Tommy Postel, aided by Tommy Lundino, and of course some other great coaches. They've got Stan Kowalski. On the other side, Adelphi, Sandy Capitos has John Ladden, who's been with him for 6 years as the offensive coordinator. And a couple of stars. You got a guy like Mark Mangan, who is the Division II Offensive Player of the Year last year on your coaching staff, the kid from Australia, working with Charlie Flaherty, another young coach, and Lee Vosberg. You've got some staffs here for Sandy Capitos.
Well, you know, they've all done a great job in the coaching realm for both these fine teams.
All right, let's see what they'll do. They'll double up here on Gonzalez. Great split. He's in. Gets the shot off, and a save by Kalesa.
All right, and that was a great save, again, by Kalesa. He was one-on-one. Let's see if we can catch a replay on the last opportunity down at the other end of the field. Here's Tower. Bang, right off the post, and that's as big a save as Fredericks is going to make.
And that was Babb, who scored earlier a goal, missing the opportunity. 15 seconds on the man up. And Adelphi, should they not score, are really going to rue this moment. A 3-minute power play, if you will. The extra man unable to score. They did hit a couple of pipes. Teams will be all even momentarily, and now they are all even. Up top, they swing it.
Now, Post bit the bullet right there, Barry.
Absolutely. Here's Maselli coming around. Maselli with a goal in this game. Got it checked. Good feed. The shot in tight was blocked. That was taken by Dan Melody. Now they come back in transition. Post looking to regain the lead. Catone off on the wing. Santa Maria stopped in tight.
Yeah, that's a tough angle. Santa Maria trying to take that shot in on Kalesa. It's a great outlet again by Kalesa. He's done a very nice job getting them into transition.
7 saves for Kalesa as Brian Hendricks brought it down. Here's Tower. Now Maselli swings it to Brad Ross, the 5'8", 140-pounder from Victoria, Australia. His dad is the coach of the under-19 Australian team. Brad Ross, part of, as we mentioned, the Australian connection. Here's Babb, isolating. Whips it behind, over the head, an unforced error of Maselli as he was working that time on defender Brian Grassaday. Boy, how do you think Grassaday feels after coming back and his team really held him by not allowing a goal?
Absolutely. He's going to thank every one of those defensemen who played man down, who did a great job for Post on that last series.
Kelly got it across. Here's Todd Bolognese with 12 goals. He's a very dangerous player, the senior from Levittown, a 3-year starter. Tough physical player, has a hard right-handed shot. Cavados off to Ernie Thompson as they work with the second midfield unit. Thompson big and strong. 6'2", 200-pounder from Farmingdale. Just back from an ankle injury. Came back last week against Nazareth. He's a truck. He can run by people. He's taking his man behind. Has Vislaki with the short stick, but throws an errant pass. Across his midfield. Newer trying to come up with the ball. And the officials will give it over to Post with 10:02 to go in this second quarter. Still tied at 3-3, which was the way we were at the end of this first quarter of play. So we'll get a change here. Now for Adelphi, coming out is Chris Babb. Chris Amplo replaces him in the lineup. Scott Renison playing with the long pole defensively in the midfield for the Adelphi Panthers. Here is Joe Busello taking the short stick against Amplo. So again, that is the strategy. Ball knocked away. Good job by Amplo as Busello lost the ball.
Excellent check, man. And you're right. Every time you see that the midfielders have the short stick, they look to go and invert and take them behind the cage.
So Amplo
did his job on defense.
Yep. He'll bring it down the field. Transfer from Hofstra. Back to DeBetta. And here is Amplo.
Very soft ride by Post, playing a very deep zone. 3 attackmen right up in midfield, and you notice all the midfielders on the far side.
Anthony Saccone has Grassaday on him. Saccone. Grassaday stays with him. Shot blocked. Grassaday again with a block. Ball loose, and finally scooped up by the goalie, Vinnie Fredericks. And Post, Ernie Thompson, try to bring it across, and he gets it down. Thompson with Cavadas in the midfield, number 24. And now joined by Joe Buscello. As Buscello comes on, number 8. He's got good eyes, likes to invert. And he'll take Saccone behind right now. Again, whoever has the short stick will go behind the cage. Off on the wing. Catone. Pass could not be handled by Cavadas. Walking away that time was Rennerson. Still loose. And the shot, as falling down that time, was number 29, Benny Catone, who has 13 goals, the sophomore out of Elmont. Fireplug kind of kid at 5'6", 165.
That was a dangerous situation right there for Post, coming up with that loose ball, that ground ball. And they're doing a very good job coming up with ground balls in their offensive half of the field.
And getting in tight and stepping into the crease, however, was the man. That was Drew Cavadas, the freshman out of Plainview Kennedy High School. Made a nice move, Kerry, but got that foot planted in the crease too deep.
Right, it was a nice little inside roll move, and you'll see and Tommy Postel trying to show him how to handle that, coming inside, put the shot down low.
Speaking of nice moves, Saccone with a nice one there to get the ball down. And Adelphi looking to take the lead here.
Saccone looking to come out, get a little bit of a breather. He's been working real hard. They'll replace him with Babb.
So Amplo working in the midfield with Babb. And here's James Maselli against the long pole of Timmy Fagan. Maselli, who scored the first goal of the game, 42 seconds in, off to Amplo. Amplo working against Grassaday, who has the short stick. Up on top, here's Babb, left-handed shot, misfires, but right behind the cage, backing up was Maselli. So Adelphi retains possession. No scoring here in the second quarter, and we have played more than half of the quarter. Here's Maselli, good check, that time by Fagan. Amplo now to Rich Vislaki, who's come on in the midfield. Adelphi really doesn't have the firepower they had in the midfield last year when they had, of course, two great ones in Flaherty and Picone. Here's Babb, checked out of his stick. Good job by Paraquan there. Kelly trying to come up with the ball for Post. Fagan as well. And it will be Post taking possession here.
Again, that was a very good ground ball. Again, we've been talking about how that was going to be a critical statistic in this game, Barry.
Fagan with a long stick, off to Jaworowski, who has 2 of the 3 Post goals. Off to Benny Catone, the little guy. Catone, a very accurate shooter. Had 3 goals against Nazareth last week, played very well. Of course, this team trying to make up for the loss of Scott Jankow, who was a starting attackman. Suffered a knee injury a little while ago. Catone, big check from behind. Nice check by Mark Reeves there, Kerry.
You know, Reeves was a second-team All-American last year, Barry. He's a great takeaway checker. He shows a variety of checks, and he did a very good job right there on Catone.
But Adelphi will lose the ball. It called for an interference, and it goes back to Post here with 5:52 to go. And Bob Hartwell pacing, watching this game right here, and
boy, you hate that, Barry. You do a great job on defense. You take the ball away, you work hard, and then of course you make a mistake like interference and give the ball right back.
And here is Jaworowski picking it up for Post. We're tied at 3 as expected. These two teams, not much separating them. Bolognese.
There's a flag. That's going to be a slash.
And they get the score. Good cut, Gavin Chamberlain, open on the wing. So the penalty will be in effect as well. They'll have the goal and the extra man. And Bob Hartwell, we've got a good crowd here. And that one, not a good play for the Adelphi Panthers right there.
Well, you know, Barry, it's really interesting. We got a veteran team back and a lot of seniors. But with the loss of the 3 premier players, it really pays a price.
Absolutely. Here we'll see it on the replay. There was the penalty against number 2, Chris Babb, and then the nice opportunity for the shot by Post. But again, what's important here is that they still are going to be extra man. And with 5.5 minutes remaining in this first half, momentum now can be very critical on the side of the Pioneers.
Chamberlain from Bolognese with the goal.
Big face-off right here for the Panthers.
So Chamberlain comes up with his 10th goal of the year. Post with the lead.
Good job by the wingman coming in. He was going to be very critical on that faceoff. That was number 6, Steve Carpinetto.
Adelphi, remember, has already scored a man-down goal this game, and they tried for another one there, but the stick was checked as he tried to get the shot off that time, and that was Scott Renison, number 29, the long pole defensive midi. So with Babb in the box, 40 seconds to go, an unforced error, the ball thrown over the head of Saccone, and Post gets it back here, Kerry.
Oh, man, you got to be unhappy with, if you're Sandy Capados right now, that pass thrown to Renison, who's running off the field, hits Renison and goes out of bounds. I mean, I don't know if he tried to do that, I don't think he could have done that.
And again, you've got to remember that Post killed off a 3-minute penalty, a 3-minute man-down situation in this quarter. And that has been a critical turning point, at least in the early going here. And they take the lead 4-3 on that goal by Chamberlain. And now there's still a man up. Working it, one man behind, off to Jaworowski. Up top. Chamberlain.
Pass by James Maselli coming out was really hurt us.
Yep. Those kind of errors. Jaworowski, low shot blocked. Scramble for the ball. Teams are all even right now. Mark Reeves knocked it out of bounds over the end line, so it'll still be Post ball. 4:28 to go, so Post unable to convert on the man-up situation. They're 0 for 3 and did give up a man-down goal to the Adelphi Panthers here. Defensively, Post has played well, holding Adelphi's high-powered offense to just 2 goals, except for that man-down goal. Here's Gonzalez. Healy went into the crease. We're going to get a penalty call coming up against Adelphi again. Off to Bucello. Bounce shot. And we get the whistle now. And another penalty coming up to the aggressive Adelphi Panthers here.
Well, we're going to get a push call.
30 seconds.
The Panthers. There'll be another 30 seconds. You know, this man-down team now has been on the field for quite some time, Barry. They're going to start to tire, and Post is going to be able to take advantage of that situation if they keep up the pressure.
And you got to remember that Adelphi's playing with some injured players on defense as well. Here's Gonzalez nearly stepping in. Good nimble footwork. And the penalty goes to number 8, Brian Hendricks. So Post looking for their first man-up goal. They're 0 for 3. Here's Bucello, off to Jaworowski. 15 seconds left, man up. Swing it on the wing to Chamberlain. Bucello, back to Chamberlain. Good stop, Kalesa. He was in tight. Kalesa holds onto the ball. Penalty down to the last 5 seconds. Mark Reeves, off to Kalesa. Teams are all even right now, as Saccone heads onto the field in the offensive end. So good job defensively there, Kerry, for the Panthers.
Excellent job. I like the way they played that man down. And right now you'll see how they're really using the clock and being very patient on this clear. The rules say you get 10 seconds to get out of the box, but you have unlimited time to be able to get it over midfield. And you saw them just taking their time. Once you cross midfield, you got 10 seconds to get it into your offensive box.
All right, Maselli taking Chamberlain with the short stick. Got in tight. Got checked, missed the shot. Was able to get around Chamberlain that time, but missed the cage. And here's Saccone, played by Todd Postel. Saccone trying to ward him off, getting in tight. Gets checked, goes down, and we're going to get a penalty call coming up here.
We'll get a penalty against the Pioneers.
Todd Postel was all over him. Number 20 is Saccone.
But he's going to draw the penalty, I would think, for the hold. Here's where they're going to call the hold, right here. That's when the flag goes down. Nice little inside roll move, draws a double team, takes the hit, does a real good job, and now we'll have the extra man situation for the Panthers. See whether or not they can convert.
They are 0 for 2. It'll be a 30-second man up. And let's see, they've had some chances here. Remember, hit some pipes during that man up. Remember, they had the 3-minute penalty they couldn't score on. Swing it behind. Here's Maselli. Off on the wing. Up top. Ross gets a return. Off to Tower. He's got the hard shot. Back to Tower. Knocked down by Vinnie Fredericks. Scramble for that loose ball. Oh, and a stop in tight. Tower denied.
Again, Tower, big shot outside. Gets the loose ball.
Teams are all even, Kerry. Up top, Neuer. Put it on the crease. Melody shot blocked. Check going down hard. The post defender Good play there as Babb comes up with the ball. 1:50 to go.
Let's go!
Off on the wing. And now going behind will be Melody. 1:35 to go.
He's had a nagging injury for a good part of the season,
Trying
Barry.
to isolate against Graziday. He had the short stick. Up top, here's Babb getting in. And Fredericks got a piece of it. It'll still be a Adelphi ball, trailing 4-3. Neither team has had more than a one-goal lead in this tight game. Coming up at halftime, we invite you to stay tuned. Carl Reuter as a special guest. Ross with his great speed, isolating up top here. Maselli whips it in behind. Melody trying to feed on the crease for Noor. Picked up by Babb, scores! Chris Babb with his second goal of the game. 1:04 to go at halftime, and we're deadlocked at 4.
And of course, picking up that loose ball is what created that goal, Barry. Nice little cut from up top by Christian Noor. He's a big target. They missed him, but it went right to the stick of Chris Babb, who followed it up with the shot, and we'll have an opportunity to see it on the replay. Here you see behind the cage what it looks like. There's the look to Noor and then to Babb, and he puts it right, it looks like, right on the stick side, and then we saw the goalkeeper giving a little bit too much. Fredericks giving a little bit too much on the inside pipe.
And Adelphi off the face-off, coming up with the ball. This was Dylan Levy winning the face-off. Transfer from Herkema. And they'll work it behind. So Adelphi with a chance to take the lead here. Maselli looks in front. Noor with the score. Christian Noor using his height advantage at 6'1½". And a beautiful feed as he was down on the crease. And just like that, Adelphi with two quick goals, seconds apart, takes a 5-4 lead, 14 seconds apart on the goals for Noor, his 11th of the year.
Well, that's exactly what they were looking for last time. Watching Noor cut down from up top. They didn't connect. This time they connected, and Noor made a nice little cut from up at the midfield. Again, heads would turn towards the ball behind the cage. Here you see what it looks like. Look at the defenseman looking at the ball, and now they pick up Noor. Does a great job picking that out of the air, and he does a nice, takes a nice shot on goalie Vinnie Fredericks.
Two goals, 14 seconds apart. Here's Kelly with the long pole trying to scoop it up in the grass. He'll chase after it, number 7 for Post. And Post Benny Catone with 30 seconds to go. He'll go to the cage here, trying to get by DeBetta. Catone gets the shot off, goes into the crease, and it'll be a crease violation on Catone.
Boy, DeBetta did what he could do. He was a first-team All-American last year, but he did a great job in preventing Catone getting in on goalie Greg Kalesa.
Danny, who played at Nassau Community, a transfer from Hofstra.
But he never got touched.
Tommy Postel arguing.
On him. Well, if he gets touched, that's a push.
Arguing that it should have been a push. Here's Brad Ross with 15 seconds to go. Trying to bounce off the check that time of Santa Maria. Good job, though. Vislaki will get it across. Amplo with 7 seconds. Amplo whips it in behind. Spinning now. Getting the shot off. Blocked that time. As Melody's shot was blocked, the ball picked up and driven toward the cage by Brian Hendricks as the first half comes to an end. And it's been a heck of a first half. The fans enjoying it. Gary, we had only 3 goals scored in that second quarter, but we had a lot of action.
Well, it finishes with a flurry, Barry, with the Panthers, I think, really taking a lot of the momentum.
So at halftime, Adelphi takes a 5-4 lead on the 2 goals, 14 seconds apart by Babb and Noor. Carl Reuter back with our halftime report. You're watching exciting college lacrosse on Cablevision's LISN.
14 seconds for the Adelphi Panthers late in that first half, and right now Adelphi on top of number 1 CW Post by the score of 5-4. Well, we heard from him during that first half. Now we get to see who Bob Hartwell is, the athletic director over at Adelphi University. Bob
has gone down to the wire as a 1-goal game, Carl, and it's living right up to those standards. First half was as close as you could get in terms of not only just the score on the board, but on all the statistics as well.
When you take a look at some of the numbers, anything outstanding that sticks out and that says this is the difference in the game?
Well, you just look at the saves. I think that's really one of the critical saves right there. Post has had, Fredericks has got to come up with 14 saves. On the other side, Kalesa has only 8. But look at the shots. The shots are pretty also in favor of Adelphi. And I think that's part of the reason, because they're coming up with a lot of loose balls in their offensive end of the field, and they're transferring those into shots on goal, and that's forcing Fredericks to have to come up with some big saves. That's it on the difference. Everything else is really very, very tight. So I think that's going to be critical.
You mentioned shots on goal, which leads us to goals, and let's take a look at the first one. We got to look at for Post, Charlie Jaworski.
Well, here you got the Adelphi defense. They got caught looking, and Jaworski cuts down from up top. You know, one of the things you try and always teach kids, keep your head on a swivel, look at the man and the ball. Defense got caught looking only at the ball, so they missed Jaworski.
And how about Joe Basello on the doorstep?
Hey, Basello, he's the man on the spot. He picks up the loose ball, and he's wide open right on the crease, as you see right here. There's the shot, nice down-low shot, picking up the loose ball. Ground balls were going to be important to Tommy Postel and CW Post, as it was for Adelphi. Post converted right there.
Speaking of Adelphi, Christian Newer.
Well, here you had the same situation that happened before for Post. Newer cuts down from up top. Defense gets caught looking at the ball, forgets the man. Newer in on the cage. Easy, nice opportunity for the Panthers.
All right, Carrie, 10 seconds. What has to happen in the second half for Post to regain that lead and perhaps come out with a victory?
Post has got to pick it up a little bit, come up with more intensity, I think, in the second half, play a little bit more aggressive. And I think right now the momentum is in Adelphi's hands.
All right, remember, Adelphi coach Sandy Capito said before the game, they lose, they know they're not going to go to the playoffs. We're back with more right after this.
Flanders, Kerry Gluck, Carl Reuter, Hal Sass, John Connell. All our crews, we get ready for the second half. Adelphi in the traditional gold uniforms with the 5-4 lead on those 2 goals 14 seconds apart late in the first half, scored by Babb and Newer. And right now Post, which led on 3 occasions in that first half, trying to tie it up. Luis Gonzalez shot blocked, and we'll reset the lineups for you. Once again, in tight that time, Santa Maria denied by Greg Kalesin. We've got a goaltending change on the other end for Post, something they've done all year. R.G. Degenfelder playing the second half after Vinnie Fredericks played a terrific first half, Kerry.
Well, he certainly did. He came up with some very good saves for CW Post. And CW Post got Degenfelder right into the game from the get-go when they came off the face-off, played the ball back to Degenfelder, let him get into the game, makes that outlet pass, and loosens him up a little bit.
Degenfelder's a transfer from UMBC where he played. He's out of Sachem High School, one of many Sachem players on this Post team. You could call it Sachem West, if you will. They've got so many players from that team. Here's Saccone getting in. Good stop on his first shot of the second half. Checked, however, was the keeper. And Degenfelder was fortunate that that ball was knocked away. Here's Vislaki. We'll reset the lineups for you. Vislaki working against the long stick of Timmy Fagan. Now in the midfield, here's Babb, who has 2 of the Adelphi 5 goals in the game. Babb against Gonzalez. Swing it behind. Misselli, who's played a solid game here, had the first goal, came up with a couple of nice assists. Misselli getting in tight, scores! He was able to get around the defender. And James Misselli with his second goal of the game, the senior out of Bellport High School, who had 30 goals last year, has to be a playmaker this year with his second of the game, 13th of the year. They say he's got to make good decisions in this game. That was a good decision as he scores unassisted and beats the defender here.
Well, that was a good decision on part of Misselli, but I got to think the Post defense had to be sleeping. He's playing a one-on-one. Here he goes against the defender. No one, here's the slide, way too late. No one backing up on the defense. Number 14, Holbrook, was left hung out to dry there. No one there to back him up.
Indeed, Kerry, nobody backing up. Kane Holbrook, number 14, was the man who was beaten. And so Adelphi with a 2-goal lead. First time they've led by 2. They led 1-0, then led 5-4 at halftime. Those were the only 2 leads they've had. Brad Ross over to Chris Amplo. Adelphi in a must-win situation, having lost to New York Tech, the only bad game they played this year. They lost to 2 Division III outstanding teams, Nazareth by a goal up in Rochester, and then last week on this field, 9-7. Only one of 2 losses in the last 18 home games here at Stiles Field that they've suffered. Saccone trying to work his way in, scores! He was working against the defender there, got the shot off. Brian Grazadeh, they've been trying to pick on at times. And another goal, Adelphi opens up a 3-goal lead, 7-4.
Well, I'll tell you, Saccone is like a little Brahma bull. That's what Coach Capitos refers to him as, and he showed his way as he bulled his way in on that goal, and he just showed equal pressure. Here he is against Grazadeh. He's got the short stick. Now he keeps pressuring. Now watch, he's going to roll off and keep the stick in his left hand. He's going to take a lefty shot, and has a nice shot. And again, quickly, Degenfelder right into this game with 2 shots on goal.
And giving up the 2 goals, here's a guy who came in with a save percentage of 74%. Played brilliantly last week in the win over Nazareth. Had 15 saves in that win. That Post came from behind to win. In the final minute and a half, they trailed in that game, but Luis Gonzalez tied it. And then Todd Bolognese won it. Now they need something from Gonzalez, who's been held off the scoreboard here. Battling there as he tries to battle against the defender there. Gonzalez does have one assist in the game. Here's Catone. Slips in nicely, and he scores. They're arguing, Adelphi, that it didn't go in. The official...
And I think they are right.
Official,
I think they are right.
It's right. It hit the outside of the net. And the official corrected himself there. We've got a great crew. Bill Cole and Bob Villanova, along with referee Tim Murray.
Now here it is again on the replay, and you see the shot, and there it is clearly on the outside of the goal. Look at Kulesa. I mean, he was right on his pipe. So for them to put that ball in, that was going to be a real tough shot. Very poor angle for the post shooter.
That is hard. Jay on ball, back right.
All right, here we go. So some substitutions have made.
My ball. Right.
They're giving the ball back over to post on the inadvertent whistle.
Back right. Back right.
All right, Scott Renison, for you folks watching at home, had been wearing number 29. He's now wearing number 9. He's a long pole defensive midi. And getting in, Bolognese, low shot. Kulesa coming up with the save. Kulesa with his 11th save. Fredericks had 14 saves in that first half.
And for a big goalie at 6'2", 200, he got down well on that shot that was taken underhanded.
He's been battling back problems this year, but has played well. Here's Saccone. Got that big goal last time working against Grassaday. Adelphi with a 7-4 lead. They have scored 5 straight goals. They were trailing, you remember, 4-3 late in the first half. Then got 2 goals 16 seconds apart. Saccone, low shot, not too difficult. Quick outlet, Degenfelder looking for Gonzalez. And Gonzalez couldn't control it. Brian Hendricks, number 8, battling for it. And the yellow shirts all around that ball, Kerry. They're playing like a team knowing that their backs are to the wall here. And they came out really very aggressive to start the second half.
Right, and they were aggressive to start the game, Barry. We alluded to that earlier in the game, knowing the position that they were in, and this was a must-win game. This is like a playoff game right now for Adelphi. They lose this, and they're out of the playoffs. And that's how they have to approach this game. And they're playing with a little bit more intensity, I think, than the Pioneers from post earlier in the game, and even at the start of the second half.
Right now, Ernie Thompson trying to get it going for the post Pioneers.
All right, Jay. Big
Thompson, Santa Maria.
Brian. Side right, Mark. 51. 51.
Lucello has one of the 4 post goals.
Richie, you got to go get him.
Working against the short stick of Rich Vislaki.
Back right, back right.
Good job defensively by Vislaki.
Back left, point hold.
Checked out of his stick. Lucello recovers.
Go behind.
Can't find anybody open now. In behind to Santa Maria.
Back right.
And you can hear Kulesa. He's really giving a lot of orders to his defense. He's a real leader on defense.
He got checked as he got around the defender, and we got a whistle. And Mark Reeves was the defender he got around. He got pushed into the crease, and it'll still be post ball.
Well, you get the push. There's Kulesa. Good look at him. And here you see almost that back check made on Santa Maria. And there's his play and pushed into the crease. Good call by the officials. They've done a nice job with the whistle so far in this game. But you hear Kulesa. He gives a lot of orders. And you know what? A good goalie will help out the defense by calling out the position of the ball and where his defense should be.
Greg, no question, a leader, a senior from Garden City, playing in his home area, transferred from St. John's when that program ceased. Bill Miltenberg's program about 4 years or so ago. In behind, Catone. Boy, post needs one badly here. Catone coming around. Kulesa came out, challenged, cut the angle down, made the stop. And finally, Kulesa will control the ball.
Nice outlet by Kulesa. Transition game in gear right now for the Panthers.
Rich Vislaki, number 22. Will work it behind. Melody, number 28. Selly's pass over the head of his teammate Brian Hendricks. Hendricks will recover. Off to Chris Amplo, working a couple of second-string midfielders here. And now Hendricks will go off. Brad Ross will replace him. So Adelphi with 6 minutes gone here in the third quarter in command, leading it 7-4. They scored the only 2 goals of this quarter. Now they turn it over here.
Let's take a look at the replay of the last opportunity by CW Post on the goalie from Adelphi. And if you listen carefully, you can hear Kalesa. He's going to challenge that Post player. And makes a nice save. He really was big there.
Speaking of big, back to the live action. Drew Cavadis, number 24, coming up with a huge goal for the Post Pioneers to bring him back within 2. And time of that goal, 6:16, after 5 straight goals had been scored by the Adelphi Panthers.
And we'll catch that one now on the replay. As you'll see, Cavadis gets the ball on the wing area, takes that left-handed shot. Nice bounce shot. That's what you try to teach your players to do. You want your players to be taking nice bounce shots on the goalie. Those are the toughest shots for the goalie to handle.
All right, Thompson battling for Post, number 42 on the face-off with Babb. And it will go over to Adelphi. Babb quickly puts it in play to the speedy Ross, chased by Kelly. Working it behind now, Melody. A lot of playing time. Saccone. Going left on Thompson, got in tight. Was able to get around him, got a good left-handed shot, but missed it. He's got a hard shot.
He did. He gave a couple of nice little face dodges that Thompson went for, and then he blew by him with that left hand, and he took a nice little shot.
Played for an outstanding Port Washington program. Melody slipping. He's a senior out of Hicksville, a transfer from Dean Community. Back out to Saccone. Adelphi with a 2-goal lead, 8 minutes to go, third quarter. And a hard shot by Babb. Goes up high on Degenfelder and scores. Beats him off stick side. Chris Babb with his 3rd goal of the game, and Adelphi regains a 3-goal lead. The senior from Longwood coming up with his 15th goal of the season.
Well, if you're going to take the shot high, you got to put it in on the off-stick side. Chris Babb, there it is again on the replay, makes a nice little move, takes a hard shot, and he does put it in on the off-stick side. It was a great goal. And again, Degenfelder, the left-hander, being in the goal, has given up 3 goals so far in this half.
Ironically, if you talk to people who've seen Post play, Degenfelder has been playing better this year than, of course, the outstanding All-American goalie Vinnie Fredericks in the early part of the season. Post, of course, came in 7-0, but their schedule not quite as tough. And they still have some tough games coming up, including New York Tech. That'll be a big game on May 1st. Jack Cayley's club playing well. And Pace, quite a story this year. 9-0, ranked number 2 in the Division II latest poll.
And I think people tend to overlook Pace, and they look to the Post and the Adelphis. And obviously those programs have always been there. But Pace has done an excellent job this year.
Look at Saccone get around. Another man got checked as he got the shot off. But you said, Kerry, Brahma Bull, 5'10", about 185. He is tough, physical player inside. And here is Tower trying to use his strength at 6'4". Gets doubled up.
Now you got to find the open man. The doubler came over. That Adelphi open man's got to be showing himself.
That was Chris Amplo. Amplo checked by Kelly. Amplo not really a major threat offensively. Rich Vislaki now will play it. Adelphi with a 3-goal lead. They led 5-4 at the half, scoring 2 goals 16 seconds apart late in the first half to take the lead. Post had outplayed him a good part of that first half. Melody getting in tight, and he scores.
That was a great effort by Dan Melody. Here's a guy who's been hurt. He's had nagging injuries, and he showed no sign of injury there, Barry. He came around the cage hard. He took the hit, left-handed shot, and I think it caught Degenfelder by surprise. I don't think Degenfelder was expecting Melody to take that shot. Here it is again on the replay. He's going against that short stick again, Grassadei. There's the left-handed shot over the off-stick shoulder of goalie Degenfelder.
So Degenfelder, the youngster from Sachem, who had played so well, he had 15 saves in last week's win in the second half alone against Nazareth, and he has given up a lot of goals here. He's given up 4 goals in this quarter, and it's 9-5 in favor of Adelphi. Here's Gonzalez. Post needs something here. Penalty coming up on Renison.
Ball down.
As he committed the foul against Gonzalez, and Post, which has failed to take advantage of their man-up situations, will get another one. 0 for 4, and they also gave up a goal when they were a man-up.
And that was, I think, very critical too, Barry, giving that shorthanded goal up.
30 seconds to go. And of course, momentum appeared to swing in favor of Post, Carey, after they killed a 3-minute man-down penalty in that second quarter, rather. And they eventually took the lead 4-3, but gave up that lead with those 2 late goals. So a key opportunity here, but only a 30-second man up. Bolognese to Gonzalez. To Chamberlain. Michello. Up to Gonzalez, under 15 seconds to go. Chamberlain against that zone.
1-3-2, side right.
Fusello up top, Gonzalez. Chamberlain, good defense, under 5 seconds to go. Gonzalez will take the shot. Kalesa with a good save. Got his body in front. Teams are all even.
That was a shot taken pretty far out by Gonzalez. Post was in a 1-4-1 set with Gonzalez up top, setting him up for either the shot or the dump if they look to slide off the crease.
It'll still be Post ball. Jaworowski, who's gotten 2 of their goals, works it in quickly.
Hold. Top right, all even.
Gonzalez with the teams all even against Renison. Gonzalez got his shot blocked. Ball chased to the far side. DeBetta will come up with it. Danny DeBetta.
Nicely done. You saw how DeBetta put his stick out in front of him as he led that fast break situation so he wouldn't get that stick check. Hey, that's really a nice job by that long pole, and youngsters who watch the game and you play long pole defense, that's what you got to do. You got to get that stick out in front and avoid the check on the fast break.
Danny's pass over the head of Maselli, however, and Post will get it back here. Still a lot of time left. 5:08 to go, third quarter. They trail 9-5.
Richie, step out. Who's got one, Renison?
Gonzalez against Pislaki. Post again, trying to take the short stick and invert. On the wing. And a goal by Cavadas. So Drew Cavadas with the only 2 goals they've scored here in the third quarter, and he's given them a little bit of life here. The freshman out of Plainview Kennedy High School, his 3rd goal in as many games.
Well, the freshman is stepping up big here. Here you see the ball goes behind. Again, they work the short stick, and with the feed from Gonzalez up to Cavadas, gets the shot on the wing, takes it with his left hand. He's more known as a Dodger. He's only had 2 goals coming into this game, Barry, and he's got 2 today. So he's doubled his output.
Yep. He had a goal against Southampton in the blowout 16-6 the other day. And again, Post draws within 3. Paraquan trying to come up with the face-off. Kelly trying to help out. Catone in green trying to come up with it. And here's Paraquan coming up with that loose ball. Opportunity for Post here to cut the margin. They trail by 3. And this is a team that has come from behind on a couple of occasions. Last year, remember, they trailed late in the game against Adelphi over at Post Field. Came up with the victory. 9-8. Here's Gonzalez. He's got to get going offensively, Gonzalez, Carey.
Absolutely, Barry. He hasn't really been involved in much of the scoring. He's got 2 assists, which is important, absolutely, but they were relying on him to do a little bit more than just 2 assists.
He's had 12 goals this year. Bounce shot. Kalesa handled it. Loose ball. Renison trying to come up with it and does. Catone on the ride, and he alertly gets it off to his teammate there. And Adelphi looking to clear as they got it to Cruciani. Bringing it down now.
The defense has got to come out and play him.
Oh my, nobody came out and played Dylan Levy, the 6-foot youngster from North Shore High School. And Dylan Levy, known as a face-off guy with his 3rd goal of the year. And just like that, it's back to a 4-goal. That could be a crusher when a guy like Dylan Levy comes down and an unsettled scores on you.
Well, the transition game, I think they've been excelling in all day long for Adelphi. But again, here you have Dylan Levy coming in on Cage. He's looking to see a defenseman come pick him up, and no one's coming at him. He makes a little stick fake pass. No one slides to pick him up, and he's one-on-one in with Degenfelder.
That little fake was key to it.
And froze the defenseman.
Froze the defenseman. Babb will come up with a face-off as he beats Paraquan. Adelphi trying to make it a 5-goal lead here as they've exploded. After being held to just 3 goals, Carey, for most of that first half. They scored 2 goals in the final minute and 15 seconds of that first half, and it's been a hot team here in the second half. They've scored 5 goals against R.G. Degenfelder. Here's Vislaki working against Paraquan. Vislaki with those great legs of his coming around. Good feed for Babb. Scores!
A rifle shot on the stick side of Degenfelder. That usually doesn't get by Degenfelder.
Well,
Babb is having a great day, Barry.
unbelievable. Babb with 4 goals. And what a time for the senior from Longwood High School. He's quick. He's known as a Dodger. He's had a solid year. The transfer from St. Andrews. And has come up big. Rich Vislaki with a nice play as we watch again, setting up the goal.
Well, again, here you come across. There's the feed. Babb takes the shot right over the shoulder of Degenfelder. A real hard shot. He's known to have the hard shot. There it again. Nice look. It was the look, the assist. I think that was excellent to find Babb on the weak side.
That's why Rich Vislaki is one of the most valuable players on this team. Another one of those transfer from St. John's. They've had quite a few of them, including Kalesa. Pass intended for Tower, cutting down. Eludes him, but on the grass, hustled by Ross, but he stepped out of bounds. You got to run after every ball, unlike the AstroTurf like at Hofstra where it's going to roll out of bounds. You've got to chase the balls down in the grass.
As a matter of fact, Barry, I thought that was going to stay in.
Yeah.
He was right on the sideline, but I think the ball might have stayed in. He stepped on the out of bounds.
So the Adelphi Panthers exploding here to take an 11-6 lead as they try to stay alive in the Division II hunt. Of course, the championship game this year will be played down in Maryland. Last year was played at Rutgers. Right now that game between Post and Tech will loom very big on May 1st. Should this result stay, it's a penalty coming up against Adelphi.
Think we'll get a hold call.
Cavadas with a shot, Kalesa
Nice save
with another
by Kalesa.
save. Boy, Kalesa's been the story in this game. If you look at the goal tending in this game, Fredericks played brilliantly in the first half, holding him to just the 5 goals. And here in the second, Adelphi scored 6 already in this quarter.
And Degenfelder has only given up 5.8 goals a game.
Yeah.
So they've scored more in this quarter than he normally has in a half.
Grennison is in the box. Let's take a look at the penalty here as he fouls Thompson.
Clearly a hold. You can see where the stick is on Redison. And another opportunity. You know, I think Post hasn't had much success. They're 0 for 5. They're 0 for on this extra man. They got to start capitalizing on some of these situations.
Tommy Postel was complaining about his team's ability. Only 10-man-up goals this year.
They had been shooting at about 30, just over 30%, at 32%. So they are certainly well off on that mark.
Gonzalez swings it behind of the X spot. Chamberlain. Cavadas has been their offense here in the second half. Bolognese cross cage feed. Was that intended for Jaworowski? Chased after by Jaworowski. Ball goes out of bounds.
But look where Kalesa is. Again, he's an active goalkeeper, Barry. He helps out the defense, especially when they're man down in this situation. Out of the cage quick, off the ground ball, and doesn't allow Post to get it in play unless it was off the dead ball.
Bolognese got checked. Good defensive job by Reeves. Bolognese will pick it back up. Teams are all even right now, so they're unable to cash in. 0 for 6 now, extra man.
That's going to come back and haunt them, Barry.
Santa Maria against the short stick of Vislaki.
Back right.
Vislaki stumbles. Santa Maria on the crease. Jaworowski checked. Renison was there as he tried to get the shot off. And hustling for it. Renison, he's closest to the ball as it leaves the field.
And that was excellent hustle by the long pole player Redison. Nicely done, and I thought the defense in that last series did a very good job for Adelphi. They're showing a lot more intensity, Barry. I think in this half so far, the Panthers have really shown more movement to the ball.
This is what Coach Capito said. We had to play with energy. That's why they wanted to go to a more aggressive zone to start the game defensively. And they've shown a lot of that energy here in the second half, beating Degenfelder 6 times in this third quarter. And here's Vislaki with Adelphi looking to probably hold on for the last shot. 30 seconds to go. Chris Amplo.
Again, he's got the short stick.
Rob Paraquan defending him.
So they're isolating on the short stick.
Amplo got in and scored. Degenfelder left his pipe, moved to the center, and left the near side open. What a rough quarter for R.G. Degenfelder, who's been brilliant all year. Tommy Postel's got to say, what happened to this, my keeper, who's done the job all year for me in the second half of games.
Absolutely, and again, it was a great effort, I thought, on the part of Adelphi here falling down. I don't even think, again, Degenfelder was expecting him to be able to shoot the ball. Here's Amplo. I mean, he's not noted for a whole lot of speed. Takes the inside move on the short stick, and as he goes down, look at the position of Degenfelder backing up into the cage.
So, what a quarter for Adelphi. That's got to be their best quarter of the year. Post trying to get something going. Gonzalez getting in, time running out. Gonzalez will get the shot off as the quarter comes to an end, and the Panthers explode for 7 goals in that quarter and take a 6-goal lead after 3. We'll be right back. You're watching exciting college lacrosse on Cablevision's LISN.
It's all Adelphi by the score of 12-6, and at the end of that third quarter, that flurry of goals that was scored against R.G. Degenfelder, the CW Post goalie, Tom Postel kept yelling at him. He looked at him after this last goal. He said, R.G., would you do us a favor and do the team a favor, do yourself a favor? You've got to stay in the crease. You're moving around way too much, not holding a position. So those were the words that Postel gave his goalie. Now, can they overcome a 6-goal deficit as we go to the start of the fourth quarter? And Barry, as we talked about earlier in this game, Tom Postel has never beaten Adelphi at Stiles Field, and right now it looks like that mark is going to continue on the negative side for Tom Postel. Back upstairs.
Very true. Right now they need a miracle here, and it's a big comeback for them, down by 6 to get this Adelphi team, which really came out fired up in that third quarter, Kerry. They had a 1-goal lead. They were fortunate, really, to take the lead. I thought Post, considering the 3-minute penalty, really outplayed them. They were able to kill that off. And it's been a disaster here in the third quarter for Tommy Postel's club. Similar to last year when they started out, fell behind 6-0 in the championship game when everything went wrong to start last year's championship game.
Well, this could be a repeat of that last game for the Pioneers. Everything went wrong for them in this quarter, but I even think earlier on in the game, when they gave up that 3-minute penalty, they bit the bullet, but then they missed the open goal. Remember earlier in the game,
Santa
when
Maria
was out of the goal, and they missed that. That was critical. And then they gave up the short-handed goal. Again, that was going to be critical. So despite all of that, they were still only down by a goal. 3 minutes, missing an open net, short-handed goal. They're still only down a goal. They really were still in the game.
Well, Adelphi has dominated the series between these two clubs, winning 30 times. Post has won 12. They played 1 tie. Adelphi's won 10 of the last 13 games, but Post has won 2 of the last 3 times they played. Back in the 96 championship game, they won it when they beat Adelphi, and won last year during the regular season over at Post. And right now Adelphi with a 6-goal lead. Chamberlain, Santa Maria couldn't handle the pass. Gonzalez trying to come up with it, but there are the yellow shirts. Brad Ross.
Nicely done by Adelphi, and Brad Ross coming up with that loose ball, showing his speed. Does a nice job getting to Kalesa, and here they are again in transition.
John Cruciani, the senior from Sachem High School who sat out last year. He was an honorable mention All-American 97. Look at that defense. It's really played well today. Cruciani, Reeves, DeBetta, Kalesa, Renison, the long pole. It's been an outstanding defensive job by Adelphi.
Hey, absolutely, but you know what? Look at these guys. DeBetta was a first-team All-American last year. Reeves was a second-team All-American. Cruciani, honorable mention All-American 97. Hey, you have 3 All-Americans out there, Barry. That's a great job, but, these guys are All-Americans.
Game getting physical. Bodies were flying. Santa Maria with a check moments ago. And right now, Adelphi with possession as DeBetta brought it down. He'll go back to his defensive half of the field. And here's Babb, who's been one of the leaders today. Babb with 4 goals, Maselli with 3 to lead the way for the Panthers. Done a good job shutting off this man. Gonzalez has had a couple of assists, but no goals. Here's Catone down low, and they finally score. Santa Maria off the feed from up top makes it a 12-7 game.
Well, that whole goal started at the defensive half of the field. Gonzalez played great defense on Babb. Check did a great check, comes up with the loose ball, starts them in transition, dumps it off to Catone, and then Catone, when he draws the defense, finds Santa Maria down on the crease. Here's where it starts, right here. And look at now, you got Gonzalez in the open field. He's the runner. He's the guy who can go all day long, goes hard into the box, draws the man, finds Catone, And now Catone looks down low for Santa Maria. Nobody on Santa Maria, wide open on the crease. That's what they've got to do. They've got to create more movement by the ball and get their legs moving.
And they've got to win some more of these face-offs. I thought that would be a big factor in their favor. But Bab's done a good job. But Gonzalez has not dominated face-offs. It was about 59%. Catone had it checked out of his stick that time by Mark Reeves, the youngster from Lakeland High School, 2-year starter, transfer from Herkimer. And right now, Post needing goals. A lot of time left in this game. They trail by 5. Cavadis, who had 2 third-quarter goals, got him some offense. The freshman getting playing time here, working against the defender, number 6, Steve Carpenetto. The long pole defensive midi. Up top, Thompson big and strong. Lost it. And Kalesa calmly picks it up. Outlets to DeBetta.
That really was a good word that you used right there, Barry. Calmly. He showed a lot of poise in the goal, Kalesa. Hasn't really gotten rattled, even with players in tight on him. And he directs the clear right here as well.
Well, he really came out against Salisbury last week, and I think that was a key. He had been struggling a little bit, had 17 saves in that game. And even though they lost it 9-7, Sandy Capitos was telling us before the game he liked a lot of things. They were down in that game 6-1. He liked the spirit they showed and liked the way, in particularly, Kalesa played in the second half.
And they fought back to draw within 1.
Down 8-7 in that game, and then a late goal. They were unable to.
Well, you know, at that point, you got to chase. You got to take some chances, and certainly would not criticize them for doing that. But that was a great comeback and showed a lot of heart, a lot of desire on the part of the Panthers.
Brian Hendricks, big strong kid up top. Saccone, Vislaki, working against Cavadis. Here's Neuer, inverting. Takes Bucello behind. Neuer, 6'1", 195-pounder.
You push! You push! Here, go!
And Degenfelder giving orders to that defense, trying to tell him to push and then go for the double.
Viselli with a great look. Melody missed it. Vislaki will get a shot. Viselli behind the back. Saccone fires wide. As Adelphi moving that ball quickly, getting some great scoring opportunities, unable to finish.
Well, Degenfelder, I think, did a better job right there on defense and helping out his defense in the goal. But yes, great ball movement. I like the way Adelphi moving the ball around the perimeter, finding open men on the doubles.
Neuer swings it behind to Maselli. Up top, beautiful setup, and they score. Richie Vislaki. Kind of fitting that the guy who's done so much off the ball today would come up with a goal here. And the co-captain, honorable mention, All-American. For a guy who doesn't score, people recognize what he does. He's so versatile on the field, and he comes up with a goal right here. His 10th of the year. He's go along with 2 assists.
Absolutely, that was great. But again, great ball movement. Here's Adelphi moving the ball around the cage. As soon as you move the ball around the cage, you're going to find open people. And that's exactly what happened. And that was a nice shot by Vislaki with the right hand. Takes an excellent place shot. Good shot selection.
13th goal of the game for the Adelphi Panthers. Renison checked, and Neuer picks it up. And we get a whistle and a timeout called by Sandy Capitos' club, leading by 6 with 10:26 to go. In case you're just tuning in, Post led 4-3 late in the first half when Adelphi came up with 2 goals within 14 seconds apart. Babu's had 4 goals scored, and then Neuer came up with the tie-breaking goal, 5-4. And then it's been all Adelphi in the second half as they've gotten goals. 2 straight from Maselli, another one from Bab. Melody got a goal. Then it was Levy, Bab, and Amplo as they totally dominated the third quarter.
Well, that certainly was all Adelphi as we take a look at Tommy Postel. He is animated as a coach, and right now I'm sure he's very upset with the way their defense is playing. They're not being aggressive, coming up with loose balls. They're not sliding quick enough. They're showing lacking intensity, and he certainly, I think, is doing everything he can to get them up for this game in terms of their intensity level.
Well, there's no question that Post came in feeling that they could beat this Adelphi team. It's been their nemesis, of course. They did lose big in the championship game, and that's a reason why that right now Adelphi finds themselves up by 6. That young man, Greg Kalesa, in goal, the second-team All-American, the art major. Very quick for his size, Kerry, and especially on those low shots, he's very good. 16 saves today. Here's Saccone working against Todd Postel. Todd's improved dramatically. Young man from Patchogue Medford High School. Didn't have lacrosse when he played out at high school. Patchogue Medford, one of the programs that have schools that have instituted lacrosse recently, Cary and Suffolk. Now Adelphi can eat up some time here. They've got a 6-goal lead, 10 minutes to go. Brad Ross, who's had 8 goals, up to Chris Amplo. Amplo has scored today.
Amplo looking again to isolate up top.
12 players have been involved in the scoring for Adelphi today. Good balance. Here's Maselli. Maselli's played a terrific game. 3 goals, 2 assists, 5 points.
Now that really shows not only just great balance, but great teamwork too on the part of Adelphi. Getting so many players involved in the scoring.
Isolating for Ross. He's perhaps the quickest player on the field for the Panthers. He'll take Paraquan with the short stick behind. Ross up top now to Melody. Melody got a big goal in this game earlier.
And now they'll take Grassaday, they'll take the short stick. Every time the midfielder comes up with the short stick on them, they're going to look to invert.
Here's Amplo. Trying to feed cross cage to Maselli. The ball will go out of bounds and Post will get it with 8:53 to go, trailing 13-7.
But more importantly, you'll notice, though, they've been very patient now. Adelphi doesn't have to go to the cage all that quickly. They're going to look to take time off the clock. Every time they come down, if they're going to take another minute or so off the clock, that's going to certainly work in their favor. Right now, Post is not only facing 10 players on the field, but they're also facing the clock as their defense.
Errant pass by Kelly as he was trying to get it upfield. The pass was intended for Frank Grandiosi, number 31. Renison coming up with that loose ball, and that's been another story. The ground balls, the loose balls, really, that Adelphi has come up with here in the second half. Up to Melody, and they clear it easily. Off now to Neuer, he lost it. Hendricks will chase after it.
That ball is still in, just like we said earlier, Barry. The grass keeps it in. But you know what? I think Neuer was really being very unselfish. He was looking to dish that ball off to Hendricks rather than take the shot.
Gonzalez with a couple of assists, trying to get a fast break going here. Against Vislaki, got in. And it comes back to Kalesas, who was blocked. And Kalesa went out and came back in. I think, let's see what the call will be. Got a timeout? Yes, indeed. Apparently, a timeout. No timeout.
I don't think it's a timeout.
It'll be a Adelphi ball. 7:50 to go. As they have taken command of this game. Adelphi with a couple of big games remaining on their schedule. They'll play at Southampton April 25th. Then Dowling and Westchester here at home on May 1st and April 28th. That Dowling game could be a big one. Here's Saccone getting in. Of course, Post has some tough games. They play Pace this week, Cary, and then they have to play New York Tech on May 1st.
Now, their schedule doesn't get any easier right now, Barry. They're really going to have some tough opponents in the latter part of their schedule.
Saccone, good look for Neuer, and Neuer off the feed from Saccone. It's his second goal of the game. And Christian Neuer with his 12th goal of the year, the transfer from Nassau Communications major out of East Meadow, makes it 14-7.
And again, here you see Maselli behind the cage, and then he'll dish it off to Saccone, inverting from up top. Then they find Neuer. He's a big target, 6'1", 185. Nice shot again. Degenfelder not happy with the way the defense has been playing.
Well, they haven't helped him, and he hasn't come up with a couple of saves that he perhaps might have to help his team today here in the second half. But Post with some big games coming up if they want to get into the championship. And New York Tech's got to like the result here today. They'll have a chance to play Post. They've already beaten Adelphi big 12-7.
And Pace has got to like the result of this game because they could be right up there at the top looking down.
Should Pace beat Post, they will have a good opportunity. Of course, Adelphi has not played Pace this year. And here now is Babb, who's had a terrific game. Does not make a good pass there. Newer in the high grass will try to get
stay
to
in.
it. Got checked from behind. Push is going to be called on Fagan, number 30. Criminal justice major from Longwood High School. Second team All-American last year for Post. Well, Post had just about everybody back from last year's team, and Adelphi, with all the changes they've had to make, particularly offensively, come up big today. Melody with a close-in shot. And Degenfelder looking to clear. Has trouble, lost the ball. Boy, it's been a rough day for him. He likes to come out of the cage. Almost coughed it up there.
He did.
Yep. But fortunately, Paraquan comes up with it. Paraquan, who's got great legs, who will bring it across. Out of West Islip, sophomore. And coming behind Bolognese. He's been shut off pretty good today, Bolognese. Some of these high scorers, really, that you expected to have a big day.
He's coming off a 4-goal game against Southampton.
Jaworowski's had a couple of goals. Cavadis has had 2, and that's been about pretty much it. Feet on the crease. And there's Kolesic calmly again, picking it off. Ross had it checked by Jaworowski, who's been aggressive on the check. And the ball goes back over to the...
Interference was against the Post.
Right. Jaworowski called for the interference. Barry Landers, Kerry Gluck, Carl Rutter here at Stiles Field. We've got some exciting lacrosse coming up next week. It'll be the big powwow out at Dowling College. We'll get a look at Tony Chiazza's Dowling Club. They've improved dramatically, Kerry, over the last few years under Tony Chiazza's, and they're just a step below the Post and the Adelphi's, looking to come up with a breakthrough kind of win.
Absolutely. I think Tony's done an excellent job building that program and bringing them into a level of respect among Long Island colleges.
They've only lost by a couple of goals to Post earlier this year, and they'll play Adelphi later. And let's go to Carl Reuter right now.
Barry, I guess this pretty much just sums it up what Tom Postel said moments ago as he looked out at an unsuccessful attempt at scoring a goal. He said, guys, what a disappointment. Back upstairs.
Second year in a row, Kerry, coming off that championship, lost 18-6. Largest margin ever in a Division II championship game. And Adelphi has had their number. Thompson. But this Post team is a good team. And second half, they have not gotten the goaltending and have not gotten the defensive work. And offensively, they've been held to just the 3 goals. Only 7 for a team averaging almost 13 a game, Kerry.
Well, I think that's really a credit to the defense of Adelphi. They've done a very good job in playing in this zone. They've really created a lot of turnovers. They've really done a good job coming up with the loose balls. This defense has really played a very, very tough.
Passing has not been good. Thompson will recover that loose ball. Thompson, who's hurt him before in the past. Up to Bolognese. And that one will stay in the hands of Post on the Bolognese shot.
But you know what? Adelphi will be very happy to see Todd Bolognese shoot the ball at the top of the box.
Cavadis, who's had 2 of the goals here in the second half for them. Good job defensively by Hendricks. Nothing doing there. Chamberlain, or check that Catone. I think they really, to a great degree, miss Scott Janko, that playmaker, that the kid from West Islip that had done such a great job early in the year. 4 goals, 10 assists in the first 4 games. They really don't have that playmaking kind of guy that can set up the attack here. Whistle blows, 2:51 to go, and Post will retain possession, trailing 14-7.
Here we go, baby. Here we go, baby.
Now the question is, and I think, I give a lot of credit to Tommy Postel and Stan and Patty and John, the coaches from Post. They're going to have to get these guys ready to play against Pace coming up this week. That's their next game, and that they can't afford to be flat in that one.
Cruciani brings it down with the long pole. Neuer will try to get after it. Bolognese checked by Neuer. Scramble for the ball. And Tim Murray says, let's give the ball back to Post with 2:17 to go. So So Adelphi continues its dominance over Post on this field. Tommy Postel's been coming here. He's been coach for 14 years, and they played at least 7 or 8 times over the course of that time here. Every other year they play on the other, and they've not won a game here. Of course, Sandy Capitos was an assistant coach at Post under John Danowski. That was before Tommy Postel took over. Sandy's had a fine career, was an assistant here for a couple of years.
Well, this field has been a magical field, I think, for the Panthers, having won 16 out of the last 18.
Now
I think
17.
it's safe to say 17 out of 19.
Under 2 minutes to go. And Gonzalez against Saccone. Of course, this team has been to the Division II championship the last 4 years. They've won it twice, lost twice, losing to Post and Tech, beating Springfield and Post on the other 2 occasions for the national championship. They've won 5 Division II titles. And of course, back in the 80s, they competed in Division I for a while, Kerry, and did a good job under Paul Doherty. And have done a great job under Sandy Capitos here. We'll get a timeout and maybe some substitutions. Kalesa heading toward the sideline here, and with 1:37 to go, gets congratulated by his teammates. 17 saves for Greg Kalesa.
Great day for Greg Kalesa in the goal, and it was a great day for the Panthers. I really think they played outstanding defense. They were very smart and played intelligently on the offensive half of the field, taking advantage of the mistakes, taking advantage of the late slides on the part of the Post. But certainly they're still alive in the hunt for the NCAA playoffs.
Absolutely, Kerry. And, you know, you look at this game, you'd say, how about MVPs? You've got Babb, who's had a terrific game. Miscelli's had 3 goals, 2 assists. Babb with 4 goals. Kalesa been the story today, and perhaps
he's just done a great job. I mean, you know, Kalesa, I thought, did a great job. There he is, not only 17 saves, but his leadership on the field, helping out the defense, directing the clears. He's really been an all-around goalkeeper, I think, for Adelphi.
And we mentioned he had struggled a little bit. He's had back problems this year. Danny DeBetta has had problems. He's had injured ligament problems. Mark Reeves, we haven't mentioned, he's played so well today, missed 4 games this year. He's playing with a flak jacket, number 42, defensively, and he's done a terrific job. There's a look at Mark, the 180-pound senior from Lakeland High School, second-team All-America. Broke 4 ribs. He's got a variety of checks, and he and Cruciani and DeBetta have done a great job. Renison, Carpenetto.
His, his intensity and desire playing with those 4 broken ribs. This is still a game for fun for kids, and these guys are going out on the field and putting it on the line.
So it's been a huge win for Adelphi, as Post will try to get 1 more at least here, try to make it a little closer, trailing by 7. Again, during the regular season when these 2 teams meet, it's generally the last 2 times they played, in 98 and 97, it was a 1-goal game. But here today, Adelphi exploded in the second half. And, you know, hindsight is 20/21. You know, Vinnie Fredericks played so great in that first half, Kerry, and they have been switching goalies all year. You wonder if Tommy Postel said, gee, maybe, I know I've done it all year, but maybe I should have kept Vinnie Fredericks in there as a long stick shot by Fagan goes wide.
Well, you always run that risk, Barry. Anytime, you've got a hot goalkeeper, the question is, do you let him hang in there, do you let him stay, or do you look to make the change? And it's been successful.
Yeah.
Hey, look, you're 7-0. Tommy Postel, 7-0 coming into this game. He's done it every game. You don't change the wheel, and it ain't broke.
That's
right?
true, Kerry. That's absolutely true. And I got to credit both keepers. Have done a great job to this point.
Now there's a flag.
Catone gets checked, and Cruciani will commit the penalty with 43 seconds to go. And that's been a big problem in this game for Post. Neither club has done that well man up, but Post had like 5, I think this will be their 6th. They're 0 for 6, and they gave up a goal while they had the extra man in the first half. So that might have been a factor. But I think the defense here in the second half has kind of deserted Degenfelder a bit. He hasn't been that sharp. And on the other end, Adelphi's defense and their goalie, Kalesa, have played very well.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Swing it behind, 30 seconds to go. Bolognese. Ball could not be handled by Chamberlain. Ball goes out of bounds. Chamberlain, another one of those Sachem kids, along with Luis Gonzalez and Charlie Jaworowski and R.G. Degenfelder. And in tight, Kalesa
Well,
as bodies fly. 12 seconds ago, a crease violation is called. Got pushed, so it'll still be post ball.
And withholding the ball, too, on the part of Adelphi. Would you give the ball back over
Todd
to the post?
Postel being worked on. Well, he's made dramatic improvements. I know Tommy Postel, very proud of his son who's played long pole defensive midi. Lost a lot of weight a couple of years ago and has played very well in that role this year. Final 2 seconds to go, and it is over. The Adelphi Panthers are still alive, folks, in the Division II hunt. And they could move up very dramatically in the poll, Kerry, with this 14-7 win over the #1 ranked CW Post Pioneers.
Convincing win for the Panthers, I think, will certainly help them in the polls.
Tech, of course, came in #3. They were 7-1. Pace was ranked #2 in the poll. And it's going to be real interesting. Pace came in with a record of 9-0 to this weekend. And it was a convincing Adelphi victory as they win it 14-7. Let's go to Carl Reuters standing by on the field.
All right, Barry, with Chris Babin, what a job here. I got to ask you a question. Post is up 4-3. What happens after that? Will you beat them 14-7?
We were on fire. We had a little halftime talk, and we were coming out on fire. We came off a big game, little step up against Salisbury last week, and we needed this really bad, keep our hopes alive for the championship. We just wanted it. There's nothing else I could say. Came up, great team. We came
Chris,
up and.
How important were the 2 goals in the last 14 seconds of that first half?
Oh, they were big, giving us a momentum swing right into the next half. And we're a third quarter team, and now this is just the next step. We got to take the next step up and keep on playing the way we are.
All right, you had 4 goals today, but the guy between the pipes for you, the big guy, number 45, Greg Palesa.
He came up excellent. The defense came up excellent. Everyone picked their game up tremendously. It was a great effort by everybody.
And of course, it's great to beat the #1 ranked team, isn't it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's nothing better.
Well, this guy's a real sportsman here. He wanted to shake hands, so they're lining up right now. Chris Babb, congratulations on a real good game. He had 4 goals today. That's part of sportsmanship. He wanted to go shake the hands, even though he wanted to come over here and speak as well. So you got to admire somebody like that. In this one, Adelphi doubles up CW Post, the #1 team in the nation. The final in this one, 14-7. Adelphi wins it right here at Stiles Field. We're back with more. Some closing comments from Barry and Carey right after this timeout. Stay with us.
Christmas time is here, bringing lots of cheer. Santa's dead, it's Tim instead. We hope he's good with deer.
Easy, Rudolph. Tim Allen, the Santa Claus, rated PG.
If you're a Touch customer, you can order movies and events simply by tuning to the channel showing the movie or event you'd like to watch. At the start time, press the authorization button on your remote control. Once you've pressed the authorization button, you will automatically be billed for that movie or event.
This year, before your tree is trimmed and your goose is cooked.
Haven't you people heard about basting?
Catch America's funniest Santa.
Who's down there?
In the season's biggest comedy.
Freeze, fat boy. Fat boy?
Tim Allen.
Johnny, naughty. Gary, nice. Veronica, very nice.
The Santa Claus.
Nice teeth.
Rated PG.